Welcome back to the channel, guys. Look what I have. This is an Atari 400. This was in fact the first computer I featured on the channel, as you can see in the card up there. And as you know, this computer only has RF output, or at least from factory it only has RF output. So, and as I've also seen in another video, this RF output can sometimes be pretty bad. And the reason for that is because the RCA connector here is a little bit long and the ground shield barely makes contact with a connector that is right there on the power board. But there exists a way for us to mod this computer to add composite and S-video, so luma and chroma output. So that's what I did. I put one of these DIN 5 connectors into this computer along with a mod, the Universal Atari video board that I got from the Brewing Academy, along with the appropriate sound mod. And I thought it would be a fun little exercise for us to compare what the video quality actually looks like with RF, with composite, and with S-video coming right out here of this Atari 400. Now, the Universal Atari video board removes RF from the device. So if you mod the computer, normally you wouldn't be able to use RF at the same time, but there is a way to mod it such that RF can be retained, and that's what I did. So let's take a look. Okay, let's take a brief look at the experimental setup, so to speak. The RF cable will go into this RF to HDMI demodulator. This is not an upscaler. This is the cheap version from Amazon or something. All it does is demodulate the RF signal and output a 720p HDMI signal. So crap in, crap out though, right? So if the signal is of poor quality coming in, it doesn't do anything to make it better. So for composite and S-video, we will use our male 5-pin connector, which I've wired up this guy here to be the same pinout as most other Atari 8-bit computers that have a 5-pin connector here. So there's a handy little cheat sheet that I followed, and we wired up the pins the same exact way. So there should be no confusion moving forward. We'll go straight into this RetroTink here. This RetroTink is an upscaler, so if we compare the video signals between the two devices, this is technically comparing apples to oranges, because this guy will in fact upscale to 480p. So whatever signal comes in, it will upscale that to 480p, or I'm not sure, 720p even. You will see, because the video is going to be a little bit smaller on this one than on this one, but the quality should be better, and it's also going to compensate a little bit for the quality that composite and S-video is going to have. From there, from this device and from the RetroTink, it'll go through this HDMI cable that I have sitting on the bench here into my HDMI capture device, which is also a cheap one, so it's not great, and it's going into this 2009 era iMac that runs a very, very old version of OBS Studio. So needless to say, we'll be asking a lot from this particular computer to make sure we can capture the video. So the frame rate is probably going to be not great, but you know, at least we will be able to see something. Oh yeah, and I love using retro computers to work on retro computers. And without further ado, what we're going to do is plug in the RF cable to the RF demodulator, which, by the way, I put Centipede in. Centipede, I like this one because it has an attract mode screen that has color and sound, so without having to have a keyboard attached or a joystick attached, this will show us basically what we're interested in today. So close this up, switch her on, and after a little while, and here we are. And as you can see, the colors are good. There's some color fringing. There's like things look a little bit pink there. The white parts look very pink, weirdly enough. Yeah, some color fringing, and that's just RF. It's actually not nearly as bad as when I hooked it up straight to the computer in the screen in the other video, and that's because in the meantime, you've probably also seen the short. I modified this jack here to improve the quality of the RF output a little bit and get rid of the snow and things like this. So this is the output that we get from RF. Now let me move over the cable from the RF converter to the RetroTink. The RetroTink being right over here. And as soon as we plug that in, the RetroTink should understand, and here we go. This is the input mode with Composite. The colors aren't quite right? So that's because the Composite signal here, so I'm using a crummy cable, but you can see that the luma signal and chroma signal submitted through the same thin wire sometimes causes the same or even more color fringing than on RF. But at least we don't have all the snow. Now let me switch to luma chroma. So I'm taking this out, putting this in. I'm wondering if I now have the right ones. We'll find out in a minute. Yep. I'm wondering if I have them reversed. Ah, here we go. Yes, I did. I had them reversed, right? And look at this. Look at how beautiful this looks. Yeah, look how sharp the picture is. Look how clear the color is compared to, again, let's pop that one in, Composite. This is Composite. Much colorfuller, slightly off colors, a little less sharp, although already, if I may say so, already a lot better than, where did I drop the cable to? Already a lot better than this guy here, the RF output. Although, you know, I suppose the color is supposed to be green. Well, you know. Neither of these is perfect. Neither of these solutions is perfect. Honestly, if you're a fan of color, I guess you may want to choose this. If you want a sharp picture, I guess perhaps you want to use luma chroma. Point being, there's something for everybody, and using this mod you can, and a tool like this and a tool like the RetroTink, you can enjoy this wonderful computer, the Atari 400, on modern screens. Yeah, that's it. Short video today indeed. Thank you very much for watching. If you need anything repaired, restored, or modded, call your boy RetroByteMeister at retrobytemeister.com. Sign up today to get 25% off your first order as soon as the store launches. Thank you very much, guys. See you soon. Bye.